Rock Lee, one of the most inspiring ninjas in all of Part 1, appeared in around 50 episodes of Part 2. 50. Oh, and Commander Pyxis? He had one of the most unceremonious deaths I have ever seen for a brilliant anime strategist. One moment he's a wise, respected tactical genius, and in the other, he's just another titan. And oh my goodness, this one. Muhammad Ali Jr. was hyped up to be a perfect one-to-one copy of Baki Hama, only to get stomped out by one person and proceed to completely lose his mind and get beaten into irrelevance. And don't get me started on Chad from Bleach or Boo from Dragon Ball. Anime is infamous for leaving behind characters that were introduced with so much potential, only to bench their star players after giving them such epic moments. Ain't nobody asked y'all to do that. Why would y'all show me something that I can't have? But sometimes the concept of failed potential is used pretty brilliantly. Take Kite from Hunter x Hunter. That man was, well, he was gone. And that emptiness we felt it alongside with the main character. It was like we shared in his grief. The same desperate and childish denial that Kite couldn't have really been dead, no matter how ridiculous it was to think otherwise. Or look at Miles Hughes from Full Metal Alchemist. Yeah, his death had shock potential, but not only did it have shock potential, but it made us feel closer to Roy Mustang. So that deepened our connection with him as a character. In these cases, the death and or disappearance of a character served the story, made it richer. But for a lot of these other characters, it just feels like a missed layup. Anime is famous for having huge casts of characters. Even the shows with relatively small casts like a Yu Yu Hakusho or a Mob Psycho 100, they even have casts of side characters that add flavor to the show. But then eventually, of course, so oftentimes do we see the show obviously pertains to the main character's issues, journeys, and abilities, while leaving the side characters to collect dust. And that's the problem. Years pass in real world time, and the story is following the MC storyline, while legends like Chunin Exams Neji is relegated to niche Twitter threads, forgotten Reddit posts, and distant memories. Let's be for real for a moment. In so many series, JJK, My Hero, Demon Slayer, very rarely is the MC everybody's favorite character. It's often the side pieces that we latch onto. Those people are the most relatable, sometimes they show flaws in ourselves or the MC, and overall just bring a whole uniqueness to the show. These side characters become our favorite because of the special moments that they get to stand out. But then they're sidelined or forgotten because of a lack of time, resources, or focus or whatever. And not gonna lie, it's one of the most frustrating things about liking anime. With all that being said, sometimes a character's arc will end exactly how it should. Their arc concludes, but that still feels a lingering feeling of emptiness, kind of similar to Piccolo in Dragon Ball. And in that emptiness, we look for people to talk about it online. Hey, what's up? I'm The Bread Show. Welcome y'all back to the channel. I give anime and gaming opinions while animating and gaming myself. Please hit that like button. Please hit that subscribe button. For everybody liking the videos and subscribing, I see y'all. Thank y'all. It's really meant the world to me. And I see a lot of y'all are not subscribed, so hopefully this video can convince y'all to come over onto this side. Because today we're gonna be talking about missed potential characters, failed potential characters, whatever, in anime. For good, better, or for worse. And I got some characters new and old that really hurt my soul to see them go. Because I felt like, and sometimes they were, built up to be so much more than they eventually became. Which is the most baffling in a series like Attack on Titan, where everything was obviously meticulously planned out. So when you see a character like Commander Pyxis do that, it feels like an injustice. He started out as like a political mastermind. He was one of the ones that introduced the idea of using Eren as a weapon when everybody else wanted him dead. He entertained the idea. And in my opinion, no spoilers, of course, but he was set up to be perfectly to be a mentor for Armin, Hanj, or Levi, or Erwin. But okay, minor spoiler here, but he sipped the Kool-Aid and became a Titan. A mindless Titan at that. Not one of the special ones, a mindless Titan. One of the greatest features about Pyxis was his mind. It wasn't his athletic ability. He was an older guy. It wasn't his athletic ability. It wasn't his ODM gear. No, it was his mind. So to take that from him and then he just dies is just, that's gotta be one of the most painful, brilliant character deaths I've ever seen. All considering the fact that he was outsmarted by one of the most dumb villains ever. Eren was never on your side, bro. No matter what you called yourself. There's no reason why he couldn't have had the same impact that Erwin did. In the early parts of the series, kinda did. Now this next one hurts the most. Muhammad Ali Jr. from the Baki series. Let's get into it. Let's talk about it. There aren't too many black anime characters that go hard and are not drawn with like big ears or big lips. I mean, we got to the point where we're claiming Piccolo. He started out being introduced as the legendary son of Muhammad Ali, obviously, and he was one of the best American Japanese fighters in the Raitai tournament that he was introduced to. And he was the perfect rival to Baki. He was the son of a legendary fighter. He was kind of cocky and arrogant, and he also tried to take Baki's girl on multiple occasions. He even loosely beat characters like Dappo, who was a main character in the series, and Dappo is top in the series. He beat Dappo, which was a top fighter in the series, which automatically made him seem like a top fighter in the series because Dappo was hanging around with Yujiro Hama, who was the undisputed #1 fighter in the world. He gets cocky, fights more people, comes across the wrong person, and Jack Hama gets stomped into the curb. He gets done greasy. I'm not gonna lie, Jack messed him up. But then he lost his mind, and then everybody else started spinning the block on him. And he lost to everybody he previously beat. He was beat down horrendously by all of the main fighters in the show. He lost to Baki in punches and cried about it greasily in front of Baki's girl. The Baki versus Ali Jr. fight was even hyped up by the characters in the show that had matches with Muhammad Ali Jr. Muhammad Ali himself even came to the fight. Yujiro Hama came to the fight, and he lost in 2 punches and fell to his knees and started bawling in the back. And that's the last we've ever seen from him ever in the series. All that hype just to be a step stool for Baki versus Yujiro Hama. And to make matters worse, he never, ever got not one redemption arc, redemption episode, not one redemption arc of an episode. He didn't get anything. He was just irrelevant after that point. I mean, nobody keeps their spotlight for too long in Baki if your last name isn't Hanma. Even Renji loses his aura. And Baki does have a theme of traditional martial arts will be flashy techniques or just straight up cheating. And I guess Junior was the latter. Baki has some other black characters like Mike Tyson, I guess, Barack Obama, and Muhammad Ali Sr., and most importantly, Biscuit Oliva, but come on now, y'all. This next person is the person that inspired this video and seemingly inspired other anime studios to feel like it was okay to leave their best characters behind, because this one was an early one, Rock Lee, and throw in the rest of the Leaf 9. At the time, Rock Lee had one of the top fights in all of anime. Top fights. I mean, he had one of the most top moments in all of anime history. The type of stuff that makes people want to get tattoos of this guy. Then he fell victim to one of the craziest power shifts ever. First of all, him and all of the other side characters became Junins and sometimes even Jonins sometimes even Kages off screen. And this isn't exact, but he appeared in around 80 episodes of Part 1. And Part 1 is only 220 episodes. Only. Chunin Exam, Sasuke Retrieval, and Konoha Crush arcs. Had moments in all of them, even the Sasuke Retrieval, which he wasn't even supposed to be a part of. It's almost like the injury surgery didn't even work. Then he appeared in around 50 out of 500 episodes in Part 2, and it was a lot of filler in there too. The Kazekage Rescue arc and the 4th Grade Ninja War. They gave him filler episodes. They even gave it a spin-off series called Naruto SD Rock Lee and his Ninja Pals. I never watched that. I literally found that out by looking it up and doing research for this video. So if you guys liked it and it was cool, let me know something, because I never seen this. And plus, when was that airing? But the part that makes this hurt so much universally is not only because he had top fights, but because he was so similar to Naruto. A neglected ninja who had something wrong with him that everybody else deemed as bad. And he came and became a top ninja. Like, come on now. That's like the basis of the whole show. And we all know attaching yourself to the main character is the one way to stay relevant in any show across anime or anything else. But now, they decide to leave that, the Naruto storylines, the Neji rivalry, the Sasuke rivalry, the Gaara rivalry, all behind. And when it's all said and done, after the 700 or so episodes of Naruto, Might Guy became more significant than Rock Lee, which goes against the whole next generation wave that was pushed in the Chunin exams when a whole bunch of kids were just popping out of the woodworks nice as hell. I mean, they weren't as nice as Itachi and Kakashi were and Minato were as kids, but it was a different time, you know, less war. And this is a shame that I have to put another African-American brother on this list. But Chad, what's up, bro? It was almost hilarious what they were doing to Chad. They built him up to get stronger just for him to be irrelevant and get beaten. In my personal opinion, he got hoed on the introduction. Just hoed. If they introduced him later on in the series, less expectations would have been put on him. But because he was introduced in the beginning as the main character's best friend, he was in the anime intros, he was in all of that, then they left him behind. Yeah, that's gonna sting. That's gonna leave an emptiness in our soul. I mean, the Quincy's, Orihime, everybody had important parts that were more important than Chad's ultimate part. A lot of the times, it just felt like there was straight up no role for him at all. And whatever light Orihime had, she stole from Chad. Usually, the silent but deadly characters get the spotlight most of the time, like I said in a previous video. But not this time. No action highlights, no nothing. He was constantly training off screen with people that should have been able to train him pretty well, just to get snuffed out when it was all said and done. By side villains at that. And then of course, another character with a lot of missed potential is Boo. I mean, I don't even know what to say about this one. Considering the start of Super, he should be like top 5 strongest people on the planet. But then they took him to the Universe 6 versus Universe 7 thing and he falls asleep? I guess bad company corrupts good morals because he hung out with a gag character in Mr. Satan and then turned into a gag character himself. I guess all of his fighting ability left with the evilness after they got separated at that one point. Because it just makes you question the fact of, why did you have the evil separate from the good? Why couldn't you just kill the good? Why couldn't Boo just be not a character anymore? What is his use? He is just walking around as a literal shell of himself. Like in the most literal way possible. That was a weird one. Hasn't used him in Super. Didn't even take him to the Tournament of Power. He didn't. Master Roshi was chosen over. Like, what in the world is going on? But then when you look across the stage to a guy like Piccolo, you might think Piccolo was a missed potential character because Android 17 was his last moment. He's still alive, he's still good. I mean, and of course he gets a movie later, but like for a long gap in time, like that Android 17 fight was in the 90s. Piccolo's been out for a while. But nah, I wouldn't say that Piccolo's a missed potential or failed potential type of character. I just feel like he's a fan favorite that did what he was supposed to do. He was a villain that came and wanted revenge, didn't get that revenge, and eventually became a good guy, training, protecting, and eventually sacrificing his life for the greater good of the Earth, the greater good of Namek, and the greater good of the MC's son, who he wanted revenge against originally. And then to tie it all up, he ended his story fighting Android 17, a character who has a very similar experience to Piccolo. Both of them were made with the sole purpose of getting revenge for somebody that didn't do anything to them, but did something to the person before them that created them. Just for both Piccolo and Android 17 to not get revenge on Goku at all. So I don't think Piccolo's a failed potential character. I just think his story it ended how it was supposed to, which is one of those rare instances. But yeah, this was a fun video to make. This was a fun video to record. This was a fun video to talk about. And next week's video, which I'm working on right now, will be a fun one as well. I promise you that. Thank you everybody for watching. And if you are watching this long, you are guaranteed to like all of my other content. I promise you that. So please like this video, please comment your thoughts, and please subscribe. Hopefully, I convinced you and will keep trying to convince you to join this side of the table, you feel me? But yeah, it's the Bread Show, where we all release our gaming and anime opinions while also gaming and animating ourselves. Check out the streams, check out the videos. Thank you so much for everything, y'all. Spread love, give inspiration in all you do. To everybody supporting and liking and subscribing and checking out the streams and doing all that stuff, thank you so much. I notice it every day. I read all the comments. I might not respond to all of them, but I read all of them. Spread love, give inspiration in all you do, and peace out.
Welcome to the Bread Show. Take 2.